We're going to call to order the meeting, the regular meeting of the Municipal Yacht Harbor, Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. Brian, do you need to do anything to record? Okay. All right. Call the meeting to order. Attendance. Keisha Turkey. McCollum. Present. Chris Hammond. Absent. Mark Hack.
Present.
Monica Criddle. Absent. Ryan Watkins.
Present.
Wendy Washington. Ryan Banks. All right. Any amendments and motions for amendment to the agenda? Hearing none. Motion to accept the agenda as published.
Second, Watkins.
All right. Presentation of the agenda. Approval of the meeting minutes which were sent to everyone for the October 8th meeting.
I did not get it.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second by Heck. Any discussion? Any comment? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Motion to approve the minutes of the Rules and Standards Committee from October 8th. Motion by Ryan Banks. Second by Watkins. Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? All right. Professional procurement policy. Brian?
Every year, the Yacht Corporation, along with the other public benefit corporations in the city, apply for a competitive selection procedure for contractual professional services, which varies from the city's version. This is the same thing. This is another year. There was a couple minor changes to bring this document in line with state law. It was unclear in the previous document, but this fixes that. Again, we just do this every year to be approved by the mayor.
Brian, I hate to buttonhole you, but do you know where the changes were, what the changes were?
It has to do with approving engineering and architectural services. By law, by state law, we're not allowed to use price as one of the determining factors. It's really just qualifications and qualities of the proposal. The quality of the proposal can include pricing, but it can't be the sole thing. This clarifies that that is not sole, whereas the previous version said that pricing was a specific thing to look at too, which does not follow state law. So that's a little change.
All right. Motion to approve the professional services procurement policy. Motion by Ryan Banks. Second by Mark Hack. Any discussion? Board members? Any comment cards?
No.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, we have a motion to approve 8% electric bill back increase. Brian?
So, the marina tenants do not have metered electricity. So the Yacht Harbor divvies it up by slip size. We get our bills and then analyze them over the last year and make any adjustments that we can see on the amount that we bill back from the tenants. By law, we're not allowed to make money on electricity, so we do not charge. And since the Yacht Harbor has its own electricity for lighting, we always undervalue it a little bit. This year, the last 12 months, we underbilled about $11,000, which is outside of what we would have expected. So it would be to bring it into closer value with an 8% increase. We would have underbilled by a little over $1,000, which is appropriate for the amount of lighting for the electricity, because that's all the electricity that Yacht Harbor uses for the marina, some LED lighting. It's the rates increase. I'll just name a couple. For a 30-foot slip, it'll go up $3 a quarter. For a 50-foot slip increase, it'll go up $8 a quarter. And for an 80-foot slip, it would go up $16 a quarter. So not a large increase, just will bring it more in line with what's actually being used.
Okay. Motion to approve the 8% electric bill back increase. Motion by Ryan Banks,
Second Watkins.
second by Roger Watkins. Any discussions, board members? Any comment cards?
None.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed. All right, financial report. From our treasurer, Roger Watkins, please.
Initially, Yacht Harbor Corporation has total assets of $17,688,500. Current assets portion is $3,698,600, the bulk of which is in the form of cash, and $3,457,400 in two accounts at JP Morgan Chase Bank. Total fixed net assets total $1.327 million. Other assets include leases receivable of $12.242 million and deferred outflow of pension resources of $423,000. On the liability side, Yacht Harbor Corporation has total liabilities of $13,333,000. $425,100 are current liabilities consisting mainly of accounts payable and accrued expenses of $103,700, under revenues of $174,900, and accrued annual sick leave and annual leave and sick leave of $136,500. Long-term liabilities consist of net pension liability of $899,900 and $12,007,900 for deferred inflow of long-term leases. That leaves Yacht Harbor Corporation with total equity of $4,355,500, of which $3,855,500 is unrestricted net assets. For the month of November, Yacht Harbor Corporation had revenues of $193,300 and total expenses of $179,200, which resulted in a net profit of $14,100. Year-to-date revenues are $2,044,400, with total expenses of $2,056,800, resulting in a year-to-date loss of $12,000 and $12,400. Current slip occupancy is 95%.
Thank you. Any questions on the financial report? Any comment cards?
None.
I'd like a motion to accept the financial report. Motion by Heck. Second by Banks. All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, Crimes Director's report.
See, in previous, what was it, November, October, we had the budget hearings, City Council. Just wanted to report that our budget hearing went well, and all the council members approved our submission at that time. Kind of a big update on the fishing pier. FEMA has approved the fishing pier submittal finally, and they're scheduling a site visit and groundbreaking with the mayor. It's tentatively scheduled for December 18th. So that found out yesterday. All the board members are invited to attend. I have a planning meeting on Thursday, set up an update with what I know after that. But it's great. So we're moving forward. Like I said, there's already a contract in the past. There's a contractor on board. So we should be able to move forward with fishing pier quickly.
Do you need a head count? So number of coal shovels you need? You know?
I'll find out what I need on Thursday.
Did you know the time about?
I don't know.
Yeah, if you could get that out to the board as quickly as possible.
Like I said, as soon as that meeting, it's Thursday late afternoon, so I'll send it for that.
Somebody pay attention to the emails for that shift. And that was actually nice news. See how fast it went from 0 to.
Where's it going to be?
It's going to mirror the breakwater at the boat launch. All right. The auction of the boathouse leases, they both had bidders, and the winning bidder for boathouse 127 signed their lease, and payment was received. The winning bid was $211,000, which is substantially higher than the lowest bid, or the lowest price allowable. That lease still must be signed by the mayor, and we're running through that process to be fully official, but we did get paid. So it's good. The Boathouse 31 lease should be signed in the next few years. The permit no change for the permitting stuff. All the discussions with real estate records, all stuff was cleared out, so the next time we have an item we need, we should be good to go on that. Parking lot rental, there's no change in that. Some more good news about Wi-Fi. Cox got the parts they needed, and they're scheduled to complete this week. I think the rain held up there. Was supposed to start it yesterday. So we should have it by the end of the year. Once all the hardware is installed, it just comes down to getting the software set up. So Marina will have functional Wi-Fi by the end of the year. Most recent quality of life requests were some signage requests, which I haven't heard anything from the city. I'll look into doing it on our own if it's something that's reasonable. Parking improvements. No update. Like I said, the contractor that we were using for some ideas fell apart. Everybody quit that company. So I will plan on early next year to kind of reactivate that project. And West End development expenses. Most recent, I guess, two were for October. It was 1,982, and November 4,353 for stone pigment West End development expenses. And that completes the director's report.
All right, thank you. One second, folks. All right. Thank you, Brian, Director's report. Rules and Standards Committee. All right, we had two motions come out of committee. We had a Rules and Standards Committee earlier tonight, and we had two motions come out of that. One was concerning Boathouse. Boathouse is 42, 43, 44, municipal address 7908, 10, and 12, Breakwater Drive, and it's Bugle. There was an issue about them having not built according to their plans. They have come back and agreed to come into compliance with the plans. Our architect has reviewed the tentative submittal, which was done in an email, and there were some drawings with it, which includes raising the, I'm going to call it the fascia and soffit on the back deck area to a height that is 16 inches less than what it is now, which is bringing into compliance with the plans, and to remove some stairs that they have in front that are going down to the street level. They have another set of stairs, 3 steps that take it, come out of the building on, I guess, the second level and take it down to a deck. 3 steps, those are not in compliance. We've told them those are not being approved, and they remove them, or they need to ask for variance. But we had a motion come out to approve them raising the deck in the back, the soffit fascia area in the back, and to remove those stairs. Approval is based upon, so the motion was to approve it, but based upon them submitting a new set of stamped drawings from their architect to our architect, Steve Finnegan, and if all that's in compliance, they're allowed to go forward with that and make those changes to bring them in compliance. So that was the motion, to raise that back deck area, the ceiling in the deck area, and remove those stairs. Motion is coming out of committee, so it doesn't need a second. Any discussion? Board members? Any comment cards?
None.
All those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion passes. The second motion that came out of the Rules and Standards Committee was regarding Boathouse 151, North Roadway. Ms. Brooks had submitted plans to our architect, He has recommended, he had 2 questions, but they've all answered. He has, based on those drawings, he has recommended approval. So we have a motion out of committee to approve the plans as submitted, and that requires, just as a side note, that requires the boathouse owner to file the plans with the city, get a permit, and have inspections done. So that motion came out of committee also. We have a motion on the floor. Any discussion? Any comment, calls? All those in favor? Any opposed? All right. So that's it for the Local Standards Committee. Economic Development Committee. So we have some updates from, give me 1 second, I'm trying to find that. Okay. So on the economic development piece, I think I touched on it 2 meetings ago. The city council has drafted a ordinance or resolution to create a cooperative endeavor agreement, and we were waiting for the, just background for everyone, cooperative endeavor agreement between the state, the parish, and the city to confect how they would divide revenues that came out of this, right? So that has been drafted. It has been sent to the other political bodies, Jefferson Parish and the state. They're in the process of reviewing and going back and forth what legislators do, right? So we have we have an administration for the state. They don't have to go back to the legislature, except for the CEA. We will wait in the course of the year during the legislative session to get passed. Jefferson Parish is now in the process of going over it and deciding whether they want to make any changes in their communicating with the city council. What that does entail is a cooperative endeavor, not cooperative endeavor agreement, but we're going to have a sort of an interagency agreement. Brian, correct me if I'm using the right term. Just an agency agreement, right? So an agency agreement with the New Orleans Building Corporation. New Orleans Building Corporation regularly does this. If you think they run Mahalia Jackson, the Union Pacific Terminal, the Sanger, they did the Four Seasons Hotel. Right? They manage business property development for the city of New Orleans on a regular basis and have for a long time. We are going to enter an interagency agreement with them for them to help us handle this. Give them the authority to work with the different parties, help develop. So we have the, we're not getting rid of the HRNA, but they're going to work hand in hand with HRNA to develop and get the process moving forward. They do this much better than us. You know, the staff, we have no slight to them at all, but they don't do this on a regular basis. The Orleans Building Corporation does. So we're going to have that agreement with them and give them the authority to work with us on our behalf to work with HRNA, to have those public meetings, those long-awaited public meetings that we've been talking about in conjunction with the political entities, both the Jefferson Parish City Council and Parish Council and the City Council want to participate in those, to organize and have those meetings, and to help with the selection process. The ordinance also calls for the formation of a committee to be formed with appointees, help if I'm appointed by the City Council, two by the City Council, 2 by Jefferson Parish, and 1 by the mayor? No, by the state. I'm sorry, I'm looking to, they might recollect that, but a committee. Once again, it's in a draft form, guys. Just want to give people an update. So this ain't final yet, but I'm pretty sure this is what will come out the other end of the meat grinder. A committee.
The current draft is the committee would be comprised of 5 people, 3 to be appointed by the city of New Orleans, and the other 2 to be appointed by Jefferson Parish.
Thank you. City Council, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
City Council and Jefferson Parish. So 3 and 2. And after the RFP gets done, gets put out, gets people well, first of all, you do an RFQ, request for qualifications. They select the people who are qualified to bid. Those people submit their RFPs, and those RFPs, obviously sealed, like the public bid process, will then go before this committee for the selection process. So that's what's been written, and if that ordinance gets, or that agreement between Jefferson Parish and New Orleans and the state gets adopted, that's how the selection process will go. NOBC will help us all the way through to the end of the construction process, because we want, we're the leaseholders, right, we're the landlords still, and every requires our approval as we go through, but they will help us because this is their expertise, obviously through the things that they've done, some of the projects I mentioned, will help get us to the end. So that's what the board, that was the other thing I just said is Wisconsin has proposed cooperative endeavor agreement that both legislative body and the state need to approve. So that's where we are with that. Just want to make sure everybody was up to date, that things are moving along, and hopefully in the next couple of months we'll start having those, putting RFQs out and having other meetings. All right, Brian, did I miss anything?
Covered it.
You got it? Got
Great.
it. Made it a little shorter. But that's basically what it says. Once that gets introduced, like anything, once it gets introduced, it'll be public record and be out there for everyone to review and see before we put it all about council. All right. This is the Economic Redevelopment Committee, Quality of Life and Safety Committee. I'm sorry, I apologize. Yes, comments?
None.
I just had one from a board member. So what I think it's great that Building Corporation is going to take it on with a lot more experience than we have. But two, like this wasn't something that we really decided. It was City Council has the authority. They're telling us this is the way it's going to be done for us, right?
Correct. This is not something that we drafted or recommended, and I'm not saying we're against it, but it came to us in that form, and it seemed to work because we were wondering, quite frankly, how the staff that we have of basically two people, and I'm not discounting the other two people we have, but one's more or less a clerical person, and the other is our bookkeeper, right? Our finance guy. And so it was a lot that was going to fall onto these two individuals in addition to everything else they have going, and it's not something they do regularly, much less have the time. So this worked out real well. These are people who do this every day for the city, and I would just say if you hadn't been there 4 seasons, I feel confident that we got the right people on board with this. Thank you. Any other comments? Any comment? All right, Quality of Life and Safety Committee did not meet. Do not have any updates. Does anybody have any comments on that?
Yes.
We have a card?
Yes.
Yeah.
Same.
Thank you. Couple of notes. Thank you so much to the Board of Directors for your great attendance this year. I'm sorry, Friends of West End. We appreciate that, and the electricity increase, the transparency that's going along with that is just really refreshing and keeps people from having conspiracies that aren't there. I appreciate that. Just an update that the Friends of West End is with coordination with your board or your board, the admin folks. We're undertaking a documentary in the neighborhood of about $40,000 on the West End area and focusing on the fountain. And hopefully it will be on PBS, and also it'll be a springboard for other fundraising to do other things out here. And in addition to that, we have some volunteers that have been pressure washing, and we'll be painting the fountain, doing some things, just generally minor things, but to generally upgrade the area. So we're happy that y'all are engaged and that we want to be engaged with. So thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Any other comment cards?
None.
All right. I would like to introduce the two folks in the back. I remember everybody looking at them, going through all these. These are two of our attorneys. They came here, they took some questions. I appreciate y'all attendance. Scott Whitaker and William Mazel. Thank y'all for coming and spending your time here. And really appreciate that y'all said you want to fill us with any of this. So
Just him.
All right, no, thank you. A motion to, well, announcement for the next meeting. The next meeting will be January, 14th, January 14th. In this room is the next meeting. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mark Heck. Keisha Turquoise. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.